Get to that, but I'm here. We got Israel Adolf Muhammad, and I am your co-host along with Mr. Rebuttal,
Another co-host.
and we are here today to bring illuminated news, nothing but the truth, to you. We're going to discuss a lot of topics because we've seen an issue. What made us come up with this platform was, and social media is good. I like to see the pictures of the babies and the pictures of the food and what you did last weekend and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people with platforms out there, and it's a very important platform. We can use our voice to educate the people. So we came together with this whole thing of notion of fake news. Fake news used to be, Mr. Rebuttal, where you go through the checkout line, you see New York Times, you see AJC, you see Birmingham News, you see whatever, LA Times, and those were reputable sources of news. They had journalists who addressed real issues. And then you look down at the bottom at the checkout stands, you see these tabloids. Like Roseanne has a penis, or Roseanne has three tails. I'm not picking on Roseanne. I just threw it out there because that's usually stuff I used to see back in the day.
I feel like the National Enquirer.
I'm just saying, just that foolish stuff. But what I'm saying is, real and truth is, we're going to address the truth. When we say my opinion, that's my opinion. We're all entitled to our opinions, but we're not entitled to our facts. 2 plus 2, you may feel that it's 10. Mr. Rebuttal may feel it's 15. And someone may say, Joe Blow may say it's 4. We all are entitled to believe what we believe, but 2 of us be wrong as F, you know what, and one of the person with opinion actually be right. So, Mr. Rebuttal, we're going to go in today with the disclaimer, because if we're going to be talking about all these things right here, we need to go over some understanding.
What we disclaiming?
The disclaimer is, if you're easily offended, okay? If you are a male or female, if you're black, brown, red, yellow, or white, if you're Muslim, Jew, Christian, atheist, or whatever, if you are a heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, or transsexual, if you're rich or poor, if you're Democrat, Republican, Northern or Southern, or just easily offended in general, you might be offended by our post. But don't let that stop you from listening and even partaking. We're going to give you in the future a website you can go to, offer your comments. We're going to open up lines soon, and we're going to take that. But we're going to be respectful and mannerable. We're Southern gentlemen, and we want people to know that if you dish it, you can give it. That we want the platform to be modulated to the where everyone has a voice and opinion, and say so long as respectful. But if you get out of line and disrespect us in any way, don't. We leave in the Second Amendment, stand your ground. Let's just say that, okay? Mr. Ball, take it from there.
And we're also disclaiming, we're also disclaiming his current president and his administration.
He's a tough up. You know that, right? We're
All
going to
the
get to
time.
that, though. So today's topic going into Black Lives Matter. We'll be covering terrorism, both domestic and foreign. We're going to go over healthcare. We're going to go over taxes. And, of course, this is upcoming election. We got 10 days or less coming up, around about 10 days into the election for you can go early vote. I know there's some cynics out there saying you don't need to vote, don't need to participate. And I used to be one. I agree with you. I used to think it was a sham they're going to do what they want to do. But more than ever in today's, you see what's going on. We have to. We have to get up and vote.
Must vote.
We have between 2 choices. And we're going to get in that later, but let's go over the issues that surround the society. Me being black, him being black, we're going to talk about Black Lives Matter, BLM. Black Lives Matter.
Now don't be offended about what we're about to say. It's coming straight from the truth.
If I'm blind, I'm flying. Okay, as they say. Black Lives Matter was an organization, a loose-lit organization that was founded recently to address the issues of disproportionate abuse upon African Americans. When we say Black Lives Matter, we mean that we're trying to draw attention to the abuse and misuse of we see countless of times. I just put this out there to you right here. In the last 5 years, how many white kids do you know, can you name by offhand, that have been shot in the back with Skittles in their pocket or shot running from the police. Can you name one, Mr. Butler?
Keep going. I'm still thinking.
I can't. I'm sure FBI data and the UCMR crime report, there's probably some data out there that supports that. I'm sure it happened because police, they do some effed up stuff all around the board. Yes.
Oh, I forgot. You have the ones that been murdered by their own parents now. They keep that out the news.
Yeah. But you know, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, I can't think of anything, and I question America. Give me an example of 2 incidences where you've had white kids or white males being shot by the police officer for just simply being white. But I can name on. Can I use my toes too?
No, and these two and mine too.
And we still have a litany of other people that we can have on the wall. Matter of fact, we're gonna start just streaming names across the border of people who died in the struggle at the hands of police officers and police brutality. And we can go on and on from the beginning of our broadcast to the end of our broadcast, and we still could not exhaust the list. The list would be exhausted. We could not exhaust the list.
And that will go on for days.
Yeah, because we got, if we went back 5 years, Rodney King, beginning of Rodney King, but okay. So obviously Black Lives Matter. Rebuttal to that is always all lives matter. So if you're innocent, if you're a Christian, and you just want the people to think all lives matter, let's go with this right here. There's several diseases, and number one, heart disease is number one killer in America, followed by stroke, and then we got other things. But we also have cancer. We got other ailments, and disease processes that affect humankind, being cancer, breast cancer, Lou Gehrig's disease, lung cancer, a plethora of diseases, right? How many times in my 40 plus years I've never once seen someone when they talk about breast cancer awareness week, or pink, wear pink month, go pink. I've never ever seen a person come back with a rebuttal of, you know what, all cancers matter. What about prostate cancer? Why you just focus on the titties? Huh? I mean, don't lungs count too? No one ever said that. Have you ever said that? Hey, I never seen that. So from 2020 and beyond, if anybody out there is got a rebuttal to Black Lives Matter with anything of that foolishness, something's wrong with you. You are morally depraved, and you are the antithesis of America. Okay? Because here we go. Let's use another example. Me and my wife, we love dogs. We dog owners, okay? And there's always this commercial, ASPCA, some humane society, and they show these dogs and cats in these inhumane conditions, just vile conditions, in cages and abused. I've never once looked at my wife and said, you know what? What about the turtles? What about the goldfish? What about the iguanas? What about the baby goats and the asses and donkeys and mules? What about the horses? No one says that. So if you ain't running around 2020 and your rebuttal of Black Lives Matter is all lives matter, you know ones I like? I like the ones, the Trump supporters who just say, you know what? White lives matter. If Black Lives Matter. And I like them because you know where they stand. And that makes most sense. But if you cover it under any type of ruse or guys, that's what it is. It's just a ruse. It's a farce. Get out of here with that. But Black Lives Matter, since we're keeping it fair, we got to talk about, because one of the things they say, black people always talk about Black Lives Matter, but on the scene they talk about it when police officers kill people. They don't talk about it when the gangbangers in Chicago every weekend shooting up shit, right?
Yeah. We cussing down, I understand.
Yeah, Now, what you say about that?
That's where I was going. Now, I'm all for Black Lives Matter. It's only an idea. It's not a movement. It's not what the government is trying to portray it to be, so you could be anti-black people of lighter color. All they're saying is Black Lives Matter when it comes to the disproportionate amount of people killed by the police. So, but at the same time now, black people, let's be real about it. Black lives should matter to you more in your own community, in your own neighborhoods, in your own state. That's why they disrespect the meaning of Black Lives Matter and say, well, what about this? What about that? Because you're not respecting your own self in your own neighborhood and community. Now, when somebody breaking your house next door, you don't want to tell them, oh, it's snitching. Or if Bobby Joe killed Sammy over a crap game or a few dollars, you don't want to tell on him because it's snitching. But you know who did it, but you won't tell. All you doing is enabling him to be more powerful within himself to go kill more people.
Your people.
And you're scared of him because of what you're scared. So Black lives should matter to you more. Stand up for your own self and then they'll appreciate you more. I have nothing against Black Lives Matter. I'm all for it, but be for yourself too. If you're not for yourself, who's for you? Nobody's gonna stand up for you when, like you said, cops kill blacks. They're gonna cover it up because you did not stand up for your own self in your own neighborhood. And furthermore, protests by committee. That's what should be doing when things like that do happen. Don't just give me a raging mob and go out, oh, they killed Bobby or whoever. Protest by committee. Have a certain amount of people with self-esteem in the neighborhood and let them take it to the place that need to be taken to and protest the value of their lives. Because sometimes maybe they are in the wrong, but still taking a life is wrong anyway. Understand this. You have to be accountable for your actions. If you know that you're getting pulled over for a traffic stop, you know your license is not good, please pull over. Don't try to run, then it's all over. Now we got people out here protesting for you, even though it's wrong why you got shot, but just stop and make it better if you did get shot. Because nobody gonna protest for you, and then they find out that you had a record mile on, and now, you know.
Now, in saying that though, I say this right here. Statistics show that most black people are killed by black people. And most white people are killed by white people. And that also goes for Asian people. You know, it's like a linkage type thing where you're surrounding, that's who you more likely going to be killed by. And the second most glaring problem I have when they say come back with, well, you don't say anything about that, is that are we really comparing the police department, the sheriff department, law enforcement agencies across the nation to Crips, the Bloods, Pyru? I mean, in my opinion, I can really see how they could be gangs.
I don't.
And considered to be gangs, police officers. However, I don't see how we can equate the two in a lawful society when you want to say that just because the Crips and the Bloods and Pyru Nation is killing each other every weekend
over a color, street that they don't own,
that it's okay for police officers who are sworn and uphold the Constitution and protect all people and keep people from crime to do the same thing.
Because they want to and they can get away with it.
So if you want to make that argument, but still, we still got to focus on ourselves too. You can't blame every problem on someone else. I'm sure that some black folks get pulled over that deserve every right to get pulled over. And probably you're being too nice to them. Probably I would have been hitting them over the head from the moment I walked up to the window. Because they probably wearing some silly, playing some stupid shit. They probably doing some real stupid stuff. So I understand not every black person innocent at all. But however, there are some innocent black people. And when an innocent black man gets shot and you don't do anything about it, that shows us that obviously the value of black life means less, and we have to bring your awareness to this.
Right.
Because maybe you didn't see this. Maybe you just thought we were lying. We were just making this IT up. You know, maybe we were just making it up. We just like to tell stories. You didn't believe it. But now you got it on camera, and now you see.
But what they don't have on camera is the one that's being shot in the neighborhood, children getting shot by random gunfire, people glad they got a Glock and want to show off and shoot a little bit, and random bullets hitting people, or they shooting at each other over little or nothing because of this color, that color. Come on, black people, wake up.
You know, gangsters, gangbangers.
What gangsters?
Thugs, or whatever they call you all. Blood Nation, Pyru Nation, Vice Lords, Crips, Ghost Face Killers, and any other plethora of organizations, gangs out there. You will serve your people. You will serve mankind much better if you're all united and actually, well, I can't. You know what's surprising to me? George Zimmerman is in Sanford, Florida, who killed and murdered Trayvon Martin, right?
Of course.
And that was like more than 2-3 years ago. And
No, more than that.
Yeah, well, maybe longer than that. He still walking. That's what I'm saying. And he's walking around just causing mayhem to this day. We got several police officers that have been acquitted of murder, who have gotten off if you've seen them on tape murdering somebody.
But they still walking. But now, somebody $20.
Step on my shoes. Step on my jaw, shawty.
I don't like him. He think he all that. He talking to my girl.
Look to my girl.
Come
Your
on.
girl talking to him.
I know. Come on, brothers.
Come on now.
If you want black lives to really matter, make it matter to yourself and your neighborhood and your communities, and then maybe it could rise up a little longer, stronger. But as long as you're doing it to yourselves, the people in the power that run this country are not going to recognize it.
But let me explain this to you, though, law enforcement. There's no excuse. I don't care how silly of a name the assailant has, or the supposed assailant has. I don't care how crazy or the hairdo is, a hairstyle, how loud they got their music, or how much reefer is coming out, the smells coming out the car, or any violation they done. Use of force, and this is where we gotta train police officers. I'm quite sure, because I'm a taxpayer and paying people salaries, right? It's a waste of bullets and time. 8 bullets is 7 bullets too many to kill a person. If you just fiscal responsible, why the hell are you wasting so many bullets on black folks?
Now I'm shooting back my damn self. Oh, excuse me.
What I'm just saying.
You wasting all them bullets. Hey, I gotta shoot back.
Like, that's a waste of bullets. That's bad, poor fiscal policy.
I know.
And then second is training.
Don't miss.
When a man walk around the car, can't you shoot somebody in the leg, the knee? Huh? Can't you strangle somebody? Don't you have tasers? Why do you have to shoot somebody? And they running away from you. This is bad policing policy. Now, if you tell me that you train that way, you have a problem with training. If you telling me that that's what your initial instinct is to do, we got a problem with that. You should not be a police officer. You should not be shooting somebody 8 times in the back.
You know, but on the real, I was almost a cop. And back when being a policeman, I kind of understand, because when I was about to be a cop, I thought about all the ways I could load my pockets off the streets being a cop. The cop has too many advantages to become rich and powerful.
Shoot him and spring some crack on him. He was resisting. Hands behind him. Stop resisting. You know, I pulled your probable cause. I just probably think you did something.
Raid your house and steal all your money and shoot you and plant a gun on you.
A no-knock warrant. That means you going into someone's house. Now understand, there's a need for no-knock warrants. You think
I don't like
the
it.
suspect gonna flee, but hold on. I would have any problem if you going to a known terrorist, a known rapist, a known child molester, a known person, criminal, and he end up getting shot in the midst of it. I can justify some of that.
It depends.
I mean, civil rights is not right, but I can my mind, my sickness probably can say, okay, I can justify that bad person. But there's no way in hell you go someone innocent. Sometimes you're gonna get it wrong. And when the time you get it wrong, like Breonna Taylor, you need to confess up to it. We messed up. As opposed to taking the course, as opposed to saying, you know what, we really did, we messed up. We didn't announce ourselves. The man had every right to defend himself, and we ended up shooting and killed him. And if we would have handled a certain way, we would have paid him out and said we were sorry. And at least you could have showed the signs like we care. But you just took the whole way, and the only charge that was filed was against a bullet, not the bullets that went into her, But the bullets that didn't go into her, the bullet that went into the white neighbor's house,
Black neighbor house didn't count.
that didn't even count.
Black Lives Matter. But here we go again. That's why I'm against the no-knocks warrant. I don't care if the terrorists, whatever. What is the purpose of the stakeout? If I'm sitting in front of somebody's house, I know when they walk in that house. When they come out of the house, I know when they walk out that house. So when they walk out the house, all I do is arrest them.
Got intel.
So why you gotta break in when you know they're there? They coming out sooner or later.
Dummy. That's bad policing policies. Any way you look at that
They
shit.
stake your house out 3 weeks. See you go in and out. Now so we're gonna no not warrant kill everybody in the house. That's dumb. Huh?
That's hell.
I don't understand this.
That's pretty messed up. Now I was for a no knock warrant because I was sold on the notion, sometimes there's a bad people that may risk to flee. But he just made a very valid point. That's why I like the truth. The truth is you got stakeout. You know exactly who in that house.
You know when he went to McDonald's, you know everything about the guy.
Well, maybe we convolute the two, because maybe not every time there's a stakeout. You might get a word that he's there. So
Okay, that's the stakeout. Now they're gonna wait for him, make sure he's there.
Now,
right?
it might have been not a stakeout, but just a probable cause of visualization. Someone saw they there now. So I'm a proponent for no knock warrants in certain circumstances.
Okay, but check
even
it
at
out.
that,
I
though,
don't mean to
when
cut
you
you
mess
out.
up, though, you mess up, and you gotta fess up.
Okay, but when they mess up, it's always black people that mess up and get the wrong
And that's why
address.
we got a problem.
Black Lives Matter.
And that's when we have a problem. And we're not going to accept that.
Ooh, wrong address. Why that was in the black neighborhood the wrong address?
Yeah.
See, that's what no knock warrants.
Yeah. Y'all handle that wrong.
I'm against it. You
And
staked out this house, but now they go raid the wrong house.
And that attorney general, I hate to say this against people because you can't say anything good about me, shouldn't say anything, so I shouldn't have anything to say about this MF. But dude,
He's like that guy on the black guy with the white man with the white black mask on. What movie was that? They pulled off the mask. He was a white man.
yeah.
Cause I can't see how a man could not take the truth to the grand jury and still try to suppress the evidence that the cops were innocent.
Didn't even offer that.
Mm-mm. Well, on to terrorism, which is
Domestic and foreign. Isn't it funny to me how when you think about terrorism, I think a lot of people think that only people who are able and have the capacity to commit terrorism have to be some radical Islamic terrorist. It has to be someone with a towel on the head. No offense, but no, that's how they say it. Has to be someone with a towel on the head and one of them.
face mask.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic.
Right. But like the number one threat by FBI agents, CIA, all these people, and even Trump's own Department of Justice admits that the number one threat is white terrorism. Christian terrorism. So if we spend, let's just say, to give a throw out figure out there, we obviously know that radical Islamic terrorism is a threat, and we need to address that. We need to keep America safe. We saw what they did on 9/11, and we swore it'll never happen again, right? So we're going to allocate resources to this threat. It only makes sense. To deny that means you're an idiot.
But we trained those terrorists.
Wait, okay, let's go to the past. Let's keep it going.
Okay.
So we're going to fight terrorism, and we allocate $1 million or one amount of something, okay, one unit of something to address terrorism. Wouldn't you seem that if there's a threat that's 10 times greater than that you would allocate 10 times the unit or $10 million for that? I would have no problem with the FBI and CIA saying, we're going to put all Muslims on the watch list because they believe in that Sharia law, they don't believe in blah, blah, blah. They read out that funny book, and they don't like us. You have to do the same thing with every rebel flag flying white person.
Of course.
And you have to go to their churches.
Of course.
So are we really worried about terrorists? Or
Nope.
are you the terrorist? Which America is it going to be?
Wasn't the rebel flag a rebel against the United States country?
Obvious form of terrorism.
Mm.
And they find that they want to say it's about heritage, not hate. But that's not even the flag they flew. They flew that flag after, and that flag was commissioned after the Reconstruction era to scare black folks and intimidate black folks. So it was about hate. Learn your history. Your history. But even the heritage. If your heritage is okay, you support that heritage. When I see that right there, I like seeing it. You know why? Because it brings up some heritage in me. And that heritage is somewhere along the line, your great granddaddy disrespected my great granddaddy, great grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings a lot of heritage up in me. So you keep flying them silly ass rebel flags around you want to.
I'm not gonna even censor you on that one.
No, but target. Why would you make yourself a target?
Thanks for letting me know who you are.
Don't do that. I wouldn't advise that.
Now, for you Trump supporters, I want to give you one idea, one thing to think about. The FBI, your own Federal Bureau of Investigation, named you the #1 terrorist of the country. President Obama had you on the #1 terrorist list. For 8 years, you were silent. Now, you Trump supporters who are black, please.
You don't see that?
Hold on. I want you to look at my eyes. The first thing he did was take white supremacists off the terror watch. Now you see Klansmen and swastikas and all these rebel flags flying proudly. And who are they against?
He love you, black.
You. How could you support a man because of a few dollars that took the terror watch against people that are trying to hurt you? More than one way or another, they're still hurting you.
But he's the least racist person.
Yeah, he's the least racist person.
He's the least racist person. A 70-some-year-old old white billionaire in a room of anyone else is the least racist. Why did he say stupid shit like that? Why is he so insulting? Who can insult black people that much? Like, that right there just really ticks me off.
Then he said the room was dark.
I did. He didn't even see people in the room. Out of no one I can see, but I'm sure he's the least racist person in the room of everybody. Ever.
So how could you support
He was least
somebody
racist than
like that?
Gandhi. He
How
was least
could you?
racist than Martin Luther King Jr. Why would you even say something that is factually stupid that you can't even?
So how could you support somebody like that? I really don't understand. He only used you for photo ops. He used your
like
ideals, and then once
But he stuck
he
with them.
used you,
I was trying to keep from letting keep off his, you know what, for a while, but okay. Now let's end.
oh yeah, we'll talk about that later because I got plenty more on that.
Let's go to healthcare.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Healthcare is this piecemeal thing that we've had, and although it's not,
Piecemeal.
yeah, piecemeal, but to me it is they have parts this, parts this, parts this, parts this.
Oh yeah, they just since they just call themselves dismantling it.
Yeah, trying to dismantle it.
yeah.
So the whole thing is the Affordable Care Act, which was named
Affordable
Obamacare,
health care
which was dubbed Obamacare, but
because
first
he did it.
was Romneycare, which is a Republican platform, and it even had the approval of the conservative wing of the party, Republican Party. But when he does it, oh, it's black, you can't like it because it's Obama came up with it. But for 8 years, they didn't come up with a plan. For 4 years, this guy been in office and didn't come up with a plan. His only plan is going to
No,
be
8 years they had a plan.
to dismantle it, yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, not dismantle it. They had a plan to. Now, here we go. I had health care. I mean, one day I woke up. I and my wife, when I was married, I could not afford insurance. I called every insurance company it was. I wanted her to have breasts. I wanted her to have the pap smears and all like that. I could not afford because I didn't have a job when '08 hit. After Bush. So I was broke, struggling, no income, didn't know what how I was going to keep my house and everything, and I needed health insurance for my wife and family. I called every insurance company, was private sector insurance, Allstate, Aetna, Blue Cross.
Cigna,
The
Coverage,
lowest I
Geo.
could find for her alone was $350 a month. My house note was $14. What I'm gonna do for grocery? Just $1 over for getting food stamps, any kind of assistance from my family. So I couldn't get it. I called American Healthcare Association. They said, Mr. Bells, thank you for calling us. We can insure you and your wife and your kids for $33 a month. Huh? For real? $5 coach cover charge? $5 charge copay? That's why I was stumbling. Oh, wait a minute. For real? Hold on, wait a minute. Can I call you back? Yeah, call him right back. Call him back, same answer. I signed up right quick. We got the best health care world. All they sold you on was you can't keep your doctor. You know why you couldn't keep your doctor? Because the doctors were greedy. They didn't want to really help you. They wanted the money that the other higher insurance companies were bringing in to pay. If I were paying for $33 a month for all of my family and $5 copay, that means every time I went to the doctor for whatever, I just paid $5. So I tried to ask my other people, black people, have you signed up for the American Healthcare Association? Obamacare? Oh, no, I don't want that garbage, man. I can't keep my doctor. Look, have you did your research? You didn't do your research. You listening at the Republicans who wanted to poison your mind saying Obamacare was not good. Just because you couldn't keep your doctor. Your doctor was a greedy.
SOB.
Anyway.
But
we had done good doctors. I know.
It's not the doctors, the insurance.
They didn't want to wait for their money from the government for you to be seen. The government would have paid the rest of the money for your visits, but they didn't want to wait. So in the meantime, everybody listening at the Republicans, well, you got to pay taxes if you don't.
Socialists.
If you don't get this insurance. $50. I would have charged you more than that for not getting it because it was so cheap. What? You can afford $33 a month to take care of you?
And you get banged up?
Oh, not $33.
ER.
My mistake. It might have been $11 for you, individual. So you can't pay $11 for you to take care of yourself, for just to have health insurance, or you can go to the doctor and make sure you're well. You need to be charged $2,000 a year. Because you don't want to take care of yourself like these fools now with this pandemic. They wrote protesting because they don't want to wear a mask. Anyway, so I can't understand you people.
I'm a southern gentleman and I enjoy hunting. When I do hunt, there's a certain portion of my body has to be covered by orange for safety purposes.
Right.
Okay? I've never not once said this is a violation of my constitutional rights. You can't make me wear orange. I don't like orange. This orange not my color. I wear it and don't think twice about it. Seatbelts. I drive motorcycles. I wear a helmet because the law also wears seatbelts because it makes sense for safety. But constitutionally, you couldn't mandate morality. You can't mandate that. All those constitutionally are wrong. But morally, it just makes sense. So I say this right here. Everybody who don't want to wear a mask, which is going to be typical Republicans, then every state needs to overturn the seatbelt law and refund every seatbelt fine that you've ever put upon the people.
Yeah, seatbelt's not contagious. Anything contagious?
But I'm saying, even that though, we even talking about a pandemic, but same time, same thought. If you're gonna do that, we're gonna be strict constitutionalists. Be strict constitutionalists.
But now back to what I'm saying about this insurance. They sold you on the individual mandate, which is you got to pay a fine for not having it, which is the idiotic thing for you not to have. So you choose to go with the people that think they're brainwashing you, thinking, well, I'm not paying no fine because I got to have insurance. And then it went up, what? 100%. Well, yeah, it went up 100%. So I was paying $22 a month. Oh, it went up 100%. That's what they sold you on 100%, but it was still so cheap. Do you want to pay $22 a month or $350 a month or $700 a month?
Well,
I can
healthcare.
understand why you don't do research. Black people, stop listening to Fox 5. Stop listening to Rush Limbaugh. I'm coming at you, Rush. That's why I'm Mr. Rebuttal. You and Hannity and that other guy. I remember when you started. What's his name?
Neil Boards, all them idiots.
Boards. He done lay down. I'm talking about the other guy. His face so red. I hate looking at him. What's his name?
Oh yeah, they ran him out of TV.
No, he on TV.
Riley.
No, Riley, he back on. The other guy now, he's moving in almost nicking it.
I don't know.
Yeah, bump him.
But check this out.
Anyway, we coming for you. I'm coming for you.
I
wait till I get. Wait the way I get where I want to be. Every day I'm listening to. I listen to your program. What's your name? I forgot your name already. Every day at 12 o'clock when you come on, I just listen to you. I wish I can just. I wish you accept one of my calls and not hang up. I got you. You in my sights.
Mm-hmm. With healthcare exists like this. I wish they explained this with the Medicare buy-in option. As it currently exists, Medicare provides services basically for free to people, but it's paid for by the taxes that are paid by people who are able to pay taxes, right?
Why are you worried?
Payroll taxes.
Trump didn't pay taxes?
And they don't get any money back. All the money goes into the system is used to help people, and then a lot of money is brought into the system to help people. When you have private insurance, you have a private corporation that, in addition to paying the salaries of the workers and things like that, and the upkeep and paying the doctors out, they also want to make a profit. And with that profit, they pay the board owners, the stock owners, the dividends, things like that. So the profit, that's the money that's been taken out the system, that's going away from the system, that's not helping people. So if you allow everyday citizens, people who could buy a healthcare insurance, or on their own, or one their own policy, or even offer companies or people who fall under employer-based healthcare insurance, if you allow those employers to buy into a Medicare plan, you at least be recouping some of the money. Okay, that only makes sense. If you have Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Coventry, Cigna, Humana, WellCare, Amerigroup, whatever, Americaid, a plethora of insurance agencies. Let's just say we have 10 of these. Well, if we offered a government-sponsored Medicare for all option, that's only free enterprise, which you call capitalism. They will compete with the private market. If they offered a better solution and people chose to go with the Medicare option, then yes, this private entity would be dissolved because they could not compete. That's capitalism. If they somehow manage to still compete with these people, you still have the option to have either private or Medicare.
And you're still getting the same health care.
If Medicare was to win and reign over, because these other people could not bring to the system what Medicare could supply for you in your health care, what would happen is the same people who needed jobs that was doing medical billing and coding and all those things right there would just be rolled over into the public sector as opposed to the private sector. The only people who lose jobs would be, let's say, 10 corporations, and each one had a CEO. The CEOs typically make about 50 times more.
And he does nothing. He does nothing.
50 times, they do some shit too now, but
what?
At least 50 times more, and that's being very giving, at least 50 times more than the average employee. So if you eradicate 10 people at 50 times, there's 500 jobs right there that you can supply in the public sector. So ain't gonna be no loss of money. Now there will be some issue with stocks, because some people who have the luxury of owning stocks, some stocks are traded and that's part of your portfolio. But the money that the American people, the mass of the people are saving, and we save on healthcare, you can put that into renewable resources and other things, and we don't have to be focused on that. So it will all work out, and will only be better for everyone. Other nations do it. Why we can't do it? We can focus on everything else. There's some things I want to be socialized. Education, I don't mind. Listen, this is a problem. Capitalism is good and strong markets, but we also need to focus on social network and social programs to affect society. There's nothing wrong with socialism. Also, we need to focus on communism. Yes, I said it. We need to focus on our communities. You want to call it communism if you want to, fine. But we need not either or, it's both and. It's all the solutions to help us to get what we need to get to. American people, the focus should be on you, and get rid of all these isms and the Republicans talking points saying this right here.
Right.
Taxes, $400,000 a year. If you make more than $400,000 a year, your tax is going to go up on the one-person plan.
Should.
It should. But I can understand if you make more than $400,000 a year, you don't want to pay no more taxes. You may not say, well, if everything he else do, I don't want to pay no tax, so I'm not voting for Biden. I'm voting for Trump. But if you're an idiot, if you're a Republican, you around here talking these talking points, and you saying, I don't want my tax to go up, but you don't make more than $400,000 a year, he ain't talking about you. You should not be voting for Trump if you worry about taxes, unless you make more than $400,000 a year,
And
which historically has been a Republican talking point.
And you will find out that Biden will win because there are a lot of more people that make 40
2% of the population makes more than $400,000 a year. So the average person, you should, if you worry about taxes, you should not vote.
So Biden will win in a landslide. All these poor people in America. Speaking of which, one more thing about American health care. People had American health care. When the Republicans talking about dismantling it, did you see all those people protesting at the Capitol? Oh, you gonna take away my health care? They were the poor whites coming out the hills, getting food stamps,
Kentucky.
Medicaid, all that. Mitch McConnell state,
Kentucky.
getting all that free money that they don't want
But
you to have.
But see, they had something different though. They didn't have Obamacare. They had K-Care.
It's still the same thing.
Yeah,
The
you
cheap
know that, right?
insurance.
The dude, your Republican governor, who had enough sense in his head to realize that you stupid MFs was gonna go against it because a black man came up with it.
Right.
He renamed this K-Care,
Mm-hmm.
and you all said, "I love K-Care. My K-Care is the best."
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like that Obamacare is socialist.
Same thing.
Idiots.
Then when they talking about replace and repeal,
Don't take my stuff.
hold it. What?
Man, the funny thing about it was people who had came on a minute, and it's sad, but I'm petty. They came on television and said, I voted for Trump, but I voted against Obamacare, blah, blah, blah. And then I turned around and I needed it. Lost my child and needed it. Like, now I understand. Then we heard countless stories of that right there. It was so funny to me. Did this go quick into the election? We got a couple more minutes now. Going to the election, this is why it's vote. And I'm going to give you the reasons. We're going to get into actual, tangible reasons. But this president that you have so far has done so many immoral things that, forget policy. When he came down the elevator and claimed and called a whole group of people, whole race of people, rapists, that alone was one thing that no other person in the history of president could do and get away with it at all. That's one thing. Another thing he did, he made fun of a handicapped person. That alone disqualifies him being president. He made fun of John McCain, who you all just love. Only a short time ago, before Trump, you loved the guy. Now you turn on him. Well, maybe he wasn't a patriot. Maybe he wasn't. He got caught. I'm with Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't like my heroes gonna get caught. That alone, he made disrespect to Gold Star families. That alone, he don't know who the Proud Boys is. As much television he watches, the average person, I can maybe understand you don't know who David Duke, the Klan, or the Proud Boys are. Maybe the average person. Maybe there's someone out there in Bumfuck
Like
too.
who?
Maybe there's someone out there in Bumfuck too.
Oh, they got to be at least 6-7 years old.
Who don't know. But if you the President of the United States of America, the media man who taking his presidency and turning it into a whole media show, a tele-reality TV show, and you don't know as much TV as you watch, and then by being President of the United States of America, you don't have advisors. You didn't think to say, did people talking about this? This is obviously going on in society. I need to learn and educate about this right here. So at this point in time, you don't know. What's most scary is if you do know, but you're lying about you don't know. Either way it goes, that's the reason why he should be president. Forget policy and all this stuff right there. You didn't show your tax returns. Now that wasn't illegal. You didn't break any law. But it's just like this right here. If me and Mr. Rebuttal are having cocktails and we're having...
Speaking of which...
Yeah, we about time for another refreshment. But we're having, let's say, taco night or Mexican night, right? And at the end of the night, he blows up my bathroom and have projectile diarrhea and don't clean it up. About the next day or 2 days after he sobers up, I said, hey man, yeah, we had a good time, blah, blah, blah. I said, you know, you really all over my place, right?
Hold on now, Mr. Rebuttal. Why me? Why can't be one of your other buddies?
Not well, anybody. I'm just saying,
Okay.
use an example. Then I would expect him
I
to
just
say,
caught on.
now I would expect him to say, you know what, man, my bad. I would have got it up, blah, blah, blah. Why you let me know? I would say, man, don't worry about it. Now let's take the next weekend. The next weekend, same thing. We're throwing back some beers. We having Mexican food, right? I have projectile diarrhea. 2-3 days after I sober up and come to my senses and myself, he said, man, you really messed up. I said, hold on, Mr. Rebuttal. First of all, there's no constitutional, there's no federal statute, there's no state statute, there's not no HOA association statute, and you didn't have any sign poster saying if I blow your bathroom up, they have to clean up. I would be legally correct. But that would just show what type of a individual I was, both
hypocritical,
and both what they call literal, as well as just mental, to use that as an excuse. This guy has says, I'm not going to show my taxes. But you know what I hate about the Democrats? They too nice. Because any other candidate after that right there, I wouldn't show the darn tax return for anything. I would say, you know what, we're going to make this law. Either you're going to make it into a law, or we're going to, you didn't have any problem with him not doing it, we're not going to show any tax return here on out. I'm going to get elected president in 2024, and you know what? I'm going to hire everybody in my family. I'm going to start an LLC with this whole thing of making money. I'm going to call Russia, China, anyone else to bring up dirt on my opponent. I'm going to say, F the Hatch Act. I'm going to say all that right there because it didn't matter.
I'm going to play basketball every week, every day.
Golf. Well,
I'm saying our president.
Yeah.
I'm going to the gym every day. Don't bother me talking to me after I come out.
I'm going to start at 12 o'clock.
After I watch my Westerns.
BET, my Westerns, and little this, comedy show.
Yeah. Talk to me after then.
And then I'm going to have some more time for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try to make deals all over the world and shake people down and stuff like that. And if anyone
Check
goes
on my
against
stocks.
me, I'm going to fire them and give voice against them. And I'm going to say I'm the best hirer of people. But then I'm going to fire so many people because how you be the best hire and fire so many people? But then I'm going to say my idiots, my supporters are so stupid, they're going to ride me no matter what. And I just hope there's some idiots out there to ride me. But more and so, I hope there's when it really come time for me to run and for us to really make a change. That you really
got the
see.
wrong skin color. Your idiocy. Your idiots would be in jail.
Yeah.
Along with you.
Hoodlums, thugs,
Yeah.
anarchists, criminals, terrorists. Look at that. White boys go to the capitals with their AR-15s.
Ooh.
Because they are protesting masks. It's black folks who have gotten shot in the street. What do you think would happen? It's going to happen when we start showing up with AR-15s at our rallies. And as opposed to talking about no justice, no peace, really mean that shit.
Oops.
Really, come on. You protest about masks.
Yeah, they protesting about masks to save their lives. Trying to kidnap the governor, plot to kidnap the governor, and the president did not say a bumbling word.
Good guys on both sides, good people, and I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are.
That's grounds for dismissment now.
In peace, then rest that orange monkey.
That's your president. But seriously, lost in the whole idea of the thing.
Vote.
It's the job of the presidency. He works for the American people. He's being a tyrant right now, getting away with it.
And he's not a king. People say, well, Obama didn't do this, Obama didn't do that. Because they didn't let him do a dang gone thing.
Look at
Mitch
McConnell.
That's what it takes more than just voting for one election. It's not an immediate turnaround. Okay, I'm a cynic too and believe that we need to go about try some other type of ways. Because the definition of sanity is keep doing the same thing and expect the same results. So maybe, just maybe, there's some things that black people haven't tried. I don't know. We've done a lot of marching.
Do a lot of voting. Do a lot of voting. Do a lot of voting, people. Don't just stay home. I don't like neither one of them. That's what they want you to do. Not like neither one because he has a base. The new guy don't have a base because you don't like him.
And unfortunately, in society, this bipartisan is a Democrat-Republican, which our founding forefathers feared. Thomas Jefferson feared the day when we just have two parties, a two-party system. That's what we're trying to get away from. But unfortunately, I would agree with more with libertarian policy, if you be honest with you. And out of all the people, I don't think honestly that Biden was the strongest candidate for the Democratic side. And out of 8 people last time with President Trump, I did damn so know he wasn't the best candidate y'all had put forth. But unfortunately, it comes down to 2 options. You can't vote for the Green Party. You can't vote for Kanye West, or you can't vote for someone
Please,
else.
Lord, no, not him.
You can't throw your vote away. And I'm begging you,
put my name on the ballot first.
And I'm begging to urge you, vote. Not only I'm telling you to vote, I'm telling you who to vote for. Vote for Joe Biden, whether you want to or not. What do you think that the Democrats, they're going to screw you over just like Republicans? I'm telling you, you really need to vote in your best interest and vote even if you're rich. Don't sell your soul for them riches. Them tax cuts, cause you make more than $40,000 a year, you can buy the extra summer home or finance the extra trip to Greece around the world. Don't let that sell your soul, because they're coming after you. Okay?
People making that money, they vote for him because he's not cutting their taxes. If you do some background work or check some of those people what they did with their money, they didn't help their families either. Have you known anybody who's making that money just go back to their neighborhood and help out the hood? No. That goes over to the other side and give their money to them. They want to live in Vegas and on the outskirts of town. But then as soon as somebody mess with them, oh, Lord have mercy, help me.
And that's cool, but that's only small, because
Black Lives Matter. Oh, no, it don't.
But only 2% of the population make more than that amount of money fit in that category.
I know it.
So if you based off that, they still shouldn't be.
But they have a following, though.
Yeah.
And see, that's what hurt us black people. They have a following. Like if you follow, like if Kanye West had his head on right, and say like he has a following because of his music. Now, if he had made it in any kind of way, which he has been Republican and totally for Trump, I think Trump would be kind of head in the polls, because Kanye wasn't going to make it. He would have gave his votes to Trump. So it's good. Some things even out where they're not going to happen.
Or if Trump had any sense in his head, he would be big of a threat he is now. If he had any way of toning himself down, this pandemic would have been a perfect time for him to reinvent himself. But this idiot went against a pandemic. He's such a narcissist that he went up against a pandemic. Didn't want the pandemic to outshine him. He thought the pandemic was getting more time than him.
I know it.
So every day he got to come up with something else stupid to do or say, because he got to compete with a pandemic. And then he just wishfully says that it's just going to go away. Then he caught it, which
it's only got 15 people. 15 people now, 15 people. And then it'll go away. 200,000 people named money. Well, we're going to get 2 million people. When did 2 million people come in?
But you know what? We wouldn't have. Who has ever said this right here? One way of not. Have you ever heard this stupid shit right here?
Oops. I'm listening.
If you don't test for it, we won't have it.
Hold on.
The reason why we got heart disease is because we test for it.
I know.
We wouldn't have any heart disease in America if we didn't do so much testing for it.
We'll have less COVID if we did less testing.
I wouldn't believe HIV records. We shouldn't test for it.
That's the dumbest thing anybody could have said, and he's still popular among people.
Cancer,
how dumb can you get?
Cancer has been increasing long as this rubber textile plant, or manufacturing plants come in and put in this diluted water with the funny smell in it. Well, hell, just don't test. I got a solution for that. Test, don't test.
I got the flu. Don't go test.
Don't test. You don't have the flu.
You won't have it.
If you don't test, you won't have it.
That's your president for you.
That alone shows you. I mean, there's people out there, listen, I'm sure there's Republicans out there you can be mad as hell as like, but in your heart, you got to know, in your mind, you got to know what they saying is real. Like, this is true.
And he mean it.
You know how stupid that he is. But I just can't wait till the shoe is on the other foot. They talking about packing the Supreme Court. Yes, I would pack it. You should. Why? You weren't worried about when you doing all this funny other stuff. Neil Gorsuch didn't even get a man a nomination. Nope. We ain't gonna give him no nomination. You ran the other one through. You ran the runner through.
Mm-hmm.
And after hypocritically, that dang on Lindsey.
No, he got Neil Gorsuch. It was who did Obama nominate?
Merrick Garland.
Garland.
Yeah. He won. That's what we want. Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all know we not even gonna have a vote on that.
And they've had 100 and how many people come in that's less qualified than this guy, and he still haven't been nominated.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, America. In conclusion,
Pay attention.
American people need to wake up and see the light and get knowledge. And stop all this fake news and come to a reliable source and go to your reliable sources. Don't be Fox is discredited. If you listen to Fox, you are one of the dumbest, deplorable individuals in the world. I mean, I look at it because I need to see what it's talking about, but it's not doing you a service. America, the roosters are coming home. You have built your land on sand, on a shaky bottom. Read your book, your revelations. Read your stories. Daniel, in particular. Read about that. You see the plagues happening. You see uprising happening. You see the rise of fascism occurring. You see white people ready to pop off and want a new civil war and rise of the South.
But you want Trump, though.
Don't let this get you in trouble, because you're going to open up a 400-year-old, long overdue can of, you know what, whooping. So please, we're begging you. You had your run. It's time for everyone to have a share in taking this right here. We want to try this one last time and give everyone a stake. As opposed, when we come back, we're going to come back for everything. It's like your mama get you when you're young and say, boy, you keep on messing around. When I get you, I'm going to get you old and new. We're trying to handle this one way, real diplomatically, and want nothing but to be red, white, and blue for everybody. And that beautiful Declaration of Independence, the preamble, and all 26 amendments of the Constitution are held for everyone. But don't take this lightly.
And I'm going to always leave you with this one question. You people that's pro-life. You're pro-life. You're rich. You want to strut your money and saying, well, I'm pro-life. I can't. No woman should have an abortion and this, that.
But when the people get here, what you do with it?
But you don't want to have the government to take care of nobody. So who's taking care of the kids that nobody wants? Ask yourself that. You're not adopting them. When somebody have a child that nobody wants, I don't see you in the adoption line. I don't see you adopting all these kids that's homeless in these homeless shelters. Where are you?
And don't want to increase the taxes to pay for it.
Yeah, then you don't. I rest my case.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Ask yourself that question. And we're